what's up, everybody? Today is a day, one of my favorite days of the year. It's when I get to visit my friends at Meguiars and bring a ride and watch them work on it while I learn how to clean it. And today we're bringing this one. I haven't even introduced this one on the channel yet, except in a short because I haven't had time. Time doesn't make sense anymore. That's where we are today. But this is my 86 Jag. These are some smart people from Meguiars. They just found something wrong in my car. But Mike Pennington.
Hey Jeff, how
how's
are
it
you?
going? Good to see you, buddy.
Fantastic.
What are we doing on this today?
Well, we're going to try to do what we can today.
Right.
It's got a lot going on from the top to the side to the interior to the leather, of course. But we're going to make it look its best for what we got, and that should be pretty easy, actually.
So basically, the gist of it, I actually know why we're here. I teed him up. I want to learn how to take care of old black paint, and I know this car is a 10-footer.
Yep, as is.
Crow's feet, like crazy, which we'll show you what that is. And I also want to know how to take care of old fine British leather.
It'll be fantastic.
I feel like I want to talk like Tom Hardy now, but I can't do that, nor can I look like him. So we're going to dive into this car. Mike's going to walk us through the steps in their fancy new studio, and we will learn how to take care of old black paint together. So let's get started.
Key to working on the checking is going to be, you're not going to be able to repair the checking, but the real key is going to be to not use a product that gets trapped in that checking and turns white. You know, some of your traditional compounds, older school compounds, are actually going to dry white. So you need to be real cautious that you're not, one, removing too much material, and two, leaving behind a residue that could possibly turn white, whether that's, you know, let's call it the checking, the crow's feet, even some of these smaller areas around the weather stripping and door handles and even emblems, you know, that's normal, but in this case, very special. So we want to pay very close attention to that. Even that goes with polishes, waxes, and most important, even some machines. You want to be very careful in how aggressive you get in going after this, because if you make a mistake or begin to, let's call it, upset this paint too much, there's no turning back at that point. And we want to keep this black paint on this car as long as we can.
Hey Mike, what's checking?
Well, you hear a lot about, you hear crow's feet, you hear checking, and that's a term you see not on all cars, but on some cars it literally looks like that paint is beginning to check, or again, like crow's feet. So those are common terms you see, and there's a lot of factors that could contribute to that, such as application, poor quality of application, too much film build, and just the environment in general, depending on what kind of paint it is. All those factors come into play that potentially causes checking, and unfortunately you can't do anything about it to permanently repair it, besides repaint, but we can certainly make it look good at the same time. And it is what it is today, so we'll make sure it looks the best it can.
Sweet.
So what we're truly doing now is trying to do a little test spot. We kind of chose the worst part of the car, which is the hood, because of the heat and the checking. And again, we talked earlier about the least aggressive method. We gotta be very careful not to begin to remove too much material. So first and foremost, we're gonna grab our ultimate polish, very light. We're gonna grab our finishing disc. We're gonna use our MT300, which is an 8mm throw. So very non-invasive right now. We'll just slowly work down till we're satisfied. And of course, polish is gonna add gloss and make that black pop as much as we can. As we get down below that body line where there's not checking, we're probably gonna step it up a little bit to remove some of the light swirls going on there. So this car is gonna require a couple different methods, which is okay, but that's why we're here. We got all the answers.
So I've had this car detailed in the past just to see where the paint would be, and the detailer informed me that because of the crow's feet, it's likely going to highlight the imperfections, and the rest of it will clean up really nicely. Mike, can you confirm that he was correct?
100% correct, and that's kind of whether it's crow's feet or deep scratches or anything like that. The nicer the paint gets, the more you begin to see. So what we're going after here is gloss, that kind of non-crow's feet area. Get that as black as possible. And again, it is what it is. Those lowers will look better, but let's try to make it, again, we said, look the best it can.
Right.
And it's actually, you know, we're looking here, you got some, you know, almost some hazing and clouding on this area where we didn't do a test spot. And then Nick was working over here with our ultimate polish. And it's actually looking pretty good for that initial test. Now it's just time to kind of replicate this process on the rest of the vehicle. and then we'll go to that next step of protection. Again, keep it in mind, we don't want anything that's gonna turn white or be left behind. That's gonna make it very obvious that you did something.
All right, so the car looks amazing. Now the next step is protection, correct?
Of course, because even though this still has those imperfections we can see, you still want to put a good protection on because you're going to drive the car and you want to protect it from those elements. So of course, that means wax. And that's another big category with regards to, there's a lot of different kinds of waxes, from three-in-ones to polymers to carnauba to spray waxes.
Right.
So really the takeaway on this car is going to be choose something that will not turn white.
Okay.
So we want to push away all the cleaner waxes. Don't use the three-in-ones, don't use the cleaner waxes. And you want to be careful. You really want to grab a wax that is what's deemed as a pure protectant, like our hybrid liquid ceramic wax, pure protectant. So it's not going to dry white, but it's going to give you that quality SiO2 protection, the water beating, all that fun
What is
stuff.
SiO2?
SiO2 is silicon dioxide, and that's really that next level of protection. Carnauba was kind of generation 1. Still make carnauba waxes, they're really good, favorite among many. Then you got polymers, like our ultimate liquid wax, step up on protection, gloss, and then we've all moved to that ceramic SiO2 phase. And think of it as quality protection, longevity, you really not being affected by Mother Nature, the elements, and all that stuff. So a product like this, and even things like a spray wax works well because they don't dry white. So make sure and grab something. If you're not sure, call that manufacturer, ask them, will it dry white? Is it a pure protectant? And then from then, you're just gonna wash it like a regular basis. Use a good quality car wash, quality toweling, and it should maintain what it looks like right now. And then you just have to evaluate it every 3 to 6 months maybe, and depending on what you need to do, grab what you need to do, maybe what we did, maybe it's a straight wax, spray wax, have at it, and go enjoy it.
Awesome. So, flip that around so I can see what I'm doing. Lots of good information. We are going to protect the paint right now, dive into that, and then after that, we'll move on the inside and get into some leather trickery. All right, I'm using my car as a tripod, much to the chagrin of the man who just waxed.
After we just worked on the hood, the camera's laying, or the roof. Camera's sitting on top of that freshly polished surface.
You do all this hard work and then I like to make you cringe and freak out.
It's working well.
But the outside looks amazing. We are moving to the inside and you've already spoiled me with showing, you tested.
A little teaser.
Yeah, so why don't you tell me, or them, what we're gonna do here.
Well, we vacuumed first, we got all the loose debris out, and we went to the worst seat, which is typically going to be the driver's seat. Got the most traffic in and out. Who knows what's on your hands, your clothes. So that was this case here. It was definitely the dirtiest. And we grabbed a leather interior brush. They've got smaller ones, larger ones, but these are really dedicated to be safe on leather. They agitate without scratching that leather or really irritating that to change the texture or sheen of that.
Okay.
Dedicated leather cleaner. We grabbed our Gold Class vinyl and leather cleaner. Went after it, agitated it, took that foam, worked it in all those pores, wiped it off with a standard microfiber towel, and as you can see, it's done.
It's crazy.
Yeah. I was a little bit shocked. It's a little dirtier than I thought it was going to be. So then, of course, the most important thing after pollen cleaner is conditioning. This is what is going to be your go-to next: is condition, 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 condition. Now, by looking at the passenger and even the back seats, that's where some other products like a 3-in-1 come into play. Very similar to paint. Okay. You can do multi-steps, or you can do a one-step, and that's where you need to look at door panels, armrests, center consoles, whether that's vinyl or leather, one step or multi-step. So the back seat in this car actually looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Not as much activity going on back there as the front seats.
Right.
So I think that back seat is primed for a 3-in-1 leather product.
Okay.
Clean and condition in one, towel, maybe even a brush. Driver's seat, we got a little bit of work cut out for us.
Yeah.
We're good. Passenger, I think we're gonna stick to that multi-step so they match.
Yep.
Probably a 3-in-1 on these door panels. Center console may get a 2-step, but it's night and day difference, as you can see.
Yeah, it's 1,000%.
Fantastic.
So this is, if you keep up with this routine every so often, this leather should stay healthy.
The absolutely important thing is if you happen to get it dirty or spill some on it, get it off as quick as you can. And then the key on leather like this is a little bit older is condition, condition, condition. gonna be like skin, porous. You want to keep it soft as possible, protect it on a regular basis.
Okay.
Condition, and you should be good.
All right, well, let's get
Let's
started.
get to it.
So the car looks significantly better. I had a detail done prior, and it was in good shape, but you've taken it a step beyond that.
And what would we say was a 10-footer before?
We did.
Get a number in your head. I got a number in my head on what we think it is now.
I cut it right in half. It's a 5-footer.
I was gonna go 4 to 6.
Okay, I like that range.
Yeah.
I'm happy with that range. And everything we've done is stuff someone could do at home in an afternoon pretty easily.
Yeah, you'd be surprised with, you may not have a lot of money to invest, but everybody has a little bit of time.
Yeah.
So if you get the right tools, the right products, a good brush for the interior, maybe a little bit of elbow grease, you can give that up a couple of hours, and you can actually do it yourself and have pretty darn good results. Results that I think would shock people.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
And we're under the lights that reveal the problems.
Everything.
It's going to look better, even better out in the sun, I think. And I'm extremely happy. So all I can say is thank you. You know what? I'll get a list of the products you use. I'll put them in the description of the video. So if anyone was curious, they could be like, oh, I'm going to try that. We can do all that YouTube-y BS.
We can do that.
Yeah.
The good though. All these products.
Subscribe. No. So. All I can say at this point is thank you. I already have a plan for another video, which we've been talking about.
Yep.
You get to see the Montero again. That one's going to be a
That's
bit
gonna
more
be great one,
involved. But for now, Jag is not rolling dirty. It is rolling very nicely.
It looks any day in the garage is a great day to work on.
Perfect.
Doesn't matter what it is.
There you go. Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely.
See you all later. RJ putting in the work.
These wheels semi-shined up.
Semi-shined up.